Hello everyone, welcome to English Valley Cafe. I'm Anne. Are you confused about how to use would have been, would be? Well, this video is going to be for you. I got a viewer who asked a question how to use would be, would have, and would have been. And I thought about putting all this into one video, but it's going to be too much information. You're going to feel overwhelmed. So I'm going to split this into two videos, perhaps three, so that you can easily take in all the information that I'm going to share with you. All right, so let's get into the video. As you have probably learned in your English class or from an English teacher, would is the past tense of will. Now, there is more to would than just being the past tense of will. There are so many uses of would that we use in our daily conversation. So today I'm going to talk about some of the common ways that we use would in daily conversation. And we're going to start off with the first one that we commonly use would, and that is in polite expressions. So for example, if we want something, we are asking for something from someone, I can say, I would like a small cup of coffee. I would like a small cookie, please. All right, so we use would to talk about something that we want. Now, here I want to point out that when we're speaking, we tend to reduce or contract I would. So we say I'd. I like a small cup of coffee. I like a small cookie. Also, we use would when we want to offer something to somebody. So for example, would you like some fries? Would you like me to email you the report? Okay, so here we are offering something to somebody and we ask the question, would you? We also use would in a question form when we are asking for permission. So for example, would it be okay if I give you the report tomorrow? Would it be okay if I come into the office a little bit late tomorrow? So we are using would in a question form to ask for permission in a polite way. Now let's take a look at how we use would when we have certain expectations about something but that didn't happen. So for example, I thought he would call me, but he didn't, okay? I thought we would get there early, but we didn't because we hit traffic. So here we have some kind of expectation that something will happen, but it didn't happen. Next, we use would to talk about something we love to do. We will want to do it, but for whatever reason, we're not able to do it. So for example, I would eat more, but I'm full, okay? I would love to go, but I have to work, all right? So here we have something that we really want to do, but there are some reasons that are stopping us from doing the action. Next, we use would to talk about a preference, something that you prefer. So for example, I would rather go to the beach than sit at home. I would rather have pasta than burger for lunch. So here we are using would rather. I would rather, okay, to show preference. Now we also use would to give advice. So for example, if I were you, I wouldn't do it. If I were you, I would just talk to her. So here we use if I were, okay, the if clause, and then followed by I would or I would not, I wouldn't. All right, so we use this to give advice. We also use would in reported speech. So if we want to report something that somebody said in an earlier conversation or in the past, we can use would. So for example, Mary said she would pick me up at the airport. Okay, I told her that I would just take Lyft home. So here we are reporting what somebody said earlier, or even what you said earlier. Believe it or not, we also use would to express how we feel. So for example, it would be fun to have some games at the party. It would be great to see you at John's wedding. Now this next one is a little bit tricky. We do use would in imaginary situation or hypothetical situation, meaning that it's not going to happen, is unreal. So in your grammar lesson, you probably learned this as the conditionals. Here are some examples. If I had the money, I would buy the house. If she studied more, she would pass the test. Or if I had more time, I would go to the store. Okay, so these are all imaginary. I'm imagining it. It's a hypothetical situation. Now let's talk about would have. So we use would have when we are imagining about the past. Now this is like an imaginary situation in the past that did not happen. For example, I would have visited you if I had known that you were home. Or if we hadn't gotten lost, we would have arrived at the airport early. Or if the police had arrived earlier, they would have been alive. Now here the sentence structure is a little bit complicated. So here we use the if clause followed by the past perfect tense, and then would have plus the past participle. Or we can just switch it around. We can start out with the would have plus the past participle, and then followed by the if clause with the past perfect. Now here I want to point out a pronunciation tip, and that is when we are speaking, we often reduce would have to would have. Okay, would have, I would have. Or sometimes you'll hear it reduced even more to woulda, I woulda, I woulda. So these are some of the common uses of would and would have in daily conversation. I hope you find this video useful. If you know someone that is having a hard time understanding how to use would and would have, please share this video with them. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and tap on that bell notification. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you next week back here for a new lesson. Have a good one. Bye.